Today, you're going to learn about HTTP status code 401, what it is, why it's important, and how to deal with it. I'm Tommy Griffith with ClickMinded.com. Let's get going. So before we dive into the 401 status code, I want to talk a little bit about web protocol basics and kind of how they make up the internet and how some of that stuff works. The internet is made up really of two core things, and that's clients and servers, right? So you have clients, web clients, that's your browser, right? Maybe it's Chrome, maybe it's Firefox, maybe it's Safari. If you're a godforsaken human being, maybe it's Internet Explorer. But if you're you're usually accessing the internet through one of these clients, right? Whenever you request a website, you're usually making a request from a web server. You make a request and the server responds. That's happening every single time you're clicking a link. You make this request using what we call the HTTP protocol. Okay, so protocols are really just standards that everyone on the internet has agreed to. It's no different than English or Spanish or Chinese. It's a language that we've all agreed to, right? So a client makes a request to the server. What happens next? Status codes let us know whether the request was a success, a failure, or something in between, right? That's what an HTTP status code is. Okay, so let's jump into each one of these next. So the 100 block, these are informational requests. The 200 block, those are successful requests. The 300 block are going to be for redirection. 400 block will be for client errors, and 500 block will be for server errors. 400 block are for client errors, right? That means the page wasn't found, something is wrong with the request, right? So whatever is happening on the client side is the issue, right? A 400 might be a bad request, a 401 unauthorized, a 403 forbidden. We're going to talk about the most important ones a little bit later, but the basic idea here is that any status code that comes in as a 400 is a client error. Okay, so HTTP status code 401 unauthorized. So a 401 unauthorized error means your login credentials weren't valid, right? So usually this happens with a web application. You have a username, you have a password, you try and enter it, and something went wrong. The server doesn't know who you are, and they want you to try and log in again, right? So very basic. It's usually like a credential, login, password issue, and the server saying, nah, sorry, could you please try again? That's really all there is to it with HTTP status code 401. So that's it. That's all there is to it with the HTTP status code 401. So I hope that was useful. If it was helpful and if you learned something today, go ahead and click subscribe down below for even more digital marketing tactics and tips from us. If you're on YouTube, I'd love a comment from you. What'd you think? Are you seeing a 401? What's the problem? Tell me a little bit about it. Would love to hear from you. I read every single comment. Finally, if you want our comprehensive HTTP status code guide, along with a tool that lets you check all of your status codes right in the browser, go ahead and click that link down below to clickminded.com for a free downloadable checklist and tool from us. Thanks a lot.